Eric, what is going on here today? What are we doing? Are we driving?
I'm driving your truck home.
I'm driving my truck home today. That's right. No, we're gonna get close. So 2017 F350 dually, 2020 engine, lots of little adaptations and things to work on, and it's pretty much ready to go. So we have the ATS compound turbo on here, we have the 2020 engine, 2017 cam sensor, crank sensor. Now the problem is on the oil pan, we have a different sandwich plate which goes to the oil filter housing. So we are playing with that because the 2021 is different because we left the 2020 oil pump and oil pan on here. And if we wanted to avoid these issues altogether, we would have just swapped everything: 2017 front cover, 2017 oil pan and oil pump, instead of using the 2020 stuff. But we wanted to use the 2020 stuff because it's brand new. You know, it's like 20,000 miles on this engine. So ATS compound turbo is on. We have the heater hose line over here. We have the downpipe going right here. We have all that stuff. We have the turbo drain line, which is going down below, which we need to fix a couple things on to get it to go to the oil pan. Other than that, I'm working on the oil filter housing. So as you can see right here, we have a hole where there used to not be a hole. So this is actually our oil pressure. Yeah, oil pressure sensor right here. So this guy is this one. So we have oil pressure right there. We'll tighten this guy right here before we tighten this guy right there. So then we have the oil temperature, and that's what I'm actually tapping right here, because this is a 3/8 by 18, and this is like an oil pressure and temperature sensor which came on the 2020. So this one we probably could have wired some stuff, but we figured easiest thing to do is just keep the 2017 sensors. This is the oil feed for the ATS compound turbo. So we'll pull this guy out, continue tapping this fella right here. We are almost done with that one. So this guy should go right out. You can see we got some nice threads on there. We're jamming him up. Okay. Get this guy out. Obviously I gotta clean this whole housing. This thing's gonna be pretty dirty. Clean that fella out. Oil temperature. I should thread right in. And we have this guy. Wham bam. There we go. I didn't have to buy a billet oil filter housing, which SPE Motorsports, they have one, and I'll probably order it anyhow, and it adapts to a Caterpillar oil filter. So yeah, that'll pretty much be how it goes. Then we have our pressure sensor that goes right here. Oil feed, there's enough room to clear the frame rail right here. I already checked it. So we're gonna go. So we're gonna do that, and then are we ready to put the cab back on?
Oh yeah.
Pretty close. So we have fan clutch and everything on here. We have all of this stuff in the front. What broke?
It's missing now.
Oh no. That.
Ever since you've been here, everything's broken.
Oh no, we gotta. All right, you know what we gotta do? We gotta swap the.
You did it.
We gotta swap it now. All right, we gotta swap it.
Yeah.
Ready? Well, I got some time to work on the other thing. So, all right. So Eric got on the new one that has the non-broken off stud right there, because we can't do that, right?
No.
Like we're not that type of guy. If we see something, we gotta fix it. So next thing over here is my oil filter housing. So this is 2017. You can see 2 ports on the side, and as you can see now we have 2020, 2 ports on the side with an oil feed for the thing. I think that turned out pretty good. So now we'll go ahead and stick this guy up in there, run the oil feed line to the turbo, and then we need to figure out the drain. By the time we're done with that, Eric should be done with this thing. Should be able to stick the cab back on it, and then we should be able to see if we can start it and then maybe drive it. All right, so we made some more progress. We got this fan shroud on there replaced, or we have this thing. So it's actually bolted on. It's not wiggly jiggly because, you know, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, the tolerance is pretty.
Tolerances. Here we go. We got the radiator hose down there bottom. Bunch of other little things. We got the oil feed line hooked up. We have the coolant line. We have the turbo drain right there in the bottom. We have the oil filter housing. We have everything bolted on. I actually welded a little Venturi bung in the exhaust for the crankcase ventilation system. Since this thing has a compound turbo, typically they ingest like the crankcase vent into the intake manifold right here that goes into the turbo, or the inlet of the turbo. As you can see, that one's been welded. So it has this kit right here, which basically pulls a vacuum on the crankcase, goes down here. That's gonna go in the exhaust. Previously, it was just kind of hanging out down here. And as you could tell, a bunch of oil and grime and everything is just kind of underneath the truck. Even though we pressure washed it a little bit, it's still under there. So I don't want to be like sitting in a drive-through or something with this thing like with a haze or a fog underneath it, and they kind of stink. So if it goes out the exhaust, obviously the heat, the vacuum, everything, I think that's just a better way of doing it. So as far as I know, we're good to go. We're gonna go ahead and set the cab down on this thing, try to plug in a couple things and see if we'll fire it up. So we got some things hooked up. I think we can fire it, I think is kind of where we're at. So it's pretty close. It's kind of at the like stage of, you know, let's just turn the key and see what happens. There's definitely a lot of other stuff that need, you know, we have cooling systems, we have a bunch of other stuff needs figured out, but I am just curious what happens when you hop in this unit and you press the key. You know, so here we go. We got the window down, hood ajar. We have reduced engine power. I wonder why. Prime the fuel. I'm not hearing the fuel pump. Should be like hearing the fuel pump, and it should be like priming the system, and it's not doing that. So, oh, it also doesn't. The Prindle or whatever, for some reason, it's not showing park reverse neutral drive. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't hear anything with the fuel pump, so I don't even think it would crank over if we try to do that right now. I have the key in here with me. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is disconnected, but I thought the fuel pump would kick on, because we definitely don't want to be like cranking on this thing with it like that. And I definitely don't think it'll start with the transmission not knowing it's in park reverse neutral or drive. So, which is just crazy because all that stuff is plugged in. But, you know, we'll figure it out. You know, now that I think of it, there's a whole wiring, there's a wire down there that I need to connect. So I'm gonna mess with that, and that should give us some more positive things. All right, so I plugged in another connector that I just remembered that I was missing. Key on, we should hear fuel pump. I feel like I don't hear it. And the reverse neutral thing ain't in too. We gotta figure it out. Nothing. All right, so under this driver fender right here, there's this module right there on the top. I don't know exactly what that fella is, but it was unplugged. I can now hear in the engine bay the fuel pump. So, see, park, reverse, neutral, parking brake engage. So we should be, I think in theory, it should go. Nothing. I wonder if it doesn't have enough juice. Might check back in with y'all tomorrow. In the morning, we'll have Eric mess with this thing for a little bit, see if we can button up a couple more things and then go from there. One more time. Come on. It wants me to press the brake, and I'm pressing the brake, but maybe it needs plugged in. Brake lights are on. Mess with it tomorrow. All right, we found another connector that was unplugged, so we're gonna hop in here and try it again. Hopefully you guys like that squeaky door. All right, you ready? Will it do something? Oh, there we go. She's cranking now. Doesn't sound very happy. It's so quiet. It says low engine oil pressure. Which we have the sensor plugged in. That's weird. It like doesn't sound very good. Alright, so it's running, but we don't have any, obviously like the truck has a camshaft too, so it's probably like wondering what's all this airflow right here. Oil pressure is fine, maybe it just took a second. I guess map sensor's not plugged in, or map sensor's messed up. She's spinning. We're gonna turn her off, but it does run. Alright, so it runs and it doesn't knock, which is really good. It shows oil pressure and all that other stuff. So I'm just gonna get up in the engine bay, double check for some leaks, and then we should be able to button this thing all up tomorrow with the cooling system and, you know, bleed everything out, and then hopefully get some different tuning on here. I wonder what's up with that map sensor, because it being at full boost or whatever, that basically just shows me that there's something wrong with the map sensor. It's probably upset, but we'll see if it starts. Starter rips, and it's starting to run a little better. No throttle response now, so. All right, it's a little update. We're having some issues with it. So when you fire it up, you guys seen the low oil pressure. So I went out in the engine bay and I confirmed with itself. I pulled the line off of the turbo and I just cranked it without starting it with there's a little signal wire in the engine bay. So I cranked it and it was shooting oil out of the oil feed line going up to the big turbo. Hey, watch, look at this. We'll just fire it up. Seeing the starter still running because it, look at that. So we have oil pressure, which is good. We have reduced engine power. We have a bunch of stuff that's mad. We're just gonna see what this thing does. And then we have that, which I don't like seeing that. But we have pressure right there. So I know it has oil pressure. So maybe the sensor, look at that. So it says module not responding. Yeah, we have an issue. Something with the wiring in this thing is mad. And I checked the grounds, connected all that stuff. We don't have a battery over there on that side of the unit, but I don't know. We got to figure some stuff out, but I think that's going to be it. Oh, look at this. It has a heated steering wheel. I've always wanted a heated steering wheel in one of these things. So I also would like a nice running unit too. So you can definitely tell it's a little bit mad. There was another code for fuel rail desired was just like too high. So the DCR pump is pumping maybe a little bit more than it's anticipating. That's scary. The whole low oil pressure deal. So I think we're gonna leave it at that for tonight. We're gonna come back tomorrow. I stayed late tonight. It's almost 11 o'clock. Kind of messing with this thing, trying to get her ripping. I wanted to see it running, and I wanted to, you know, at the beginning of the day, I wanted to drive it home today, which I don't think that's gonna happen. So maybe tomorrow, hopefully after diagnosing some stuff in this, we'll figure it out and go from there. So appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you guys tuning into the month of maybes. We're gonna go pick up some trucks or a truck in the morning and then go from there. So see you tomorrow.